Can we talk about Top Gear for a minute?
We can.
Because it's like, that's the show, right? That's the big leagues. That's Major League Baseball. That's like,
is it?
That's the big show, isn't it? That's the business card to end business cards in this business, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what's the perception of Top Gear America in America, like previous ones? Because it's a whole new thing for me. Like, it was pretty successful, the one with Tanner and Routledge and everything.
7 seasons. Yeah. I mean, that's fucking great for any show in America.
I only hear pretty good things about that one.
In the first 2 seasons, they flagrantly repeated bits from the British show.
Yeah.
And they also had a sort of studio segment with celebrity interviews and stuff like that. And it didn't really work here. And then they switched to a shitbox adventures only format with the occasional supercar skitty film.
Yeah.
And it worked very well.
Yeah. The honest truth is it's really good fun. I love doing it. And I feel initially, you know what it's like. As soon as Top Gear is mentioned, it's scary. It's like,
fuck yeah, dude.
It's like, as a big legacy, people basically love to tell you if you do something that's called Top Gear that doesn't have Clarkson in, that it's terrible. Like, it doesn't matter what you could build the greatest show in the world and there'd be those people who said that. So
Meanwhile, the Grand Tour is exhausting.
Yeah, a couple of their specials have been great.
They've had a couple of good bits, but as a whole, it's exhausting.
Yeah. But I just went in and was like, let's see what this is all about. I got a call up very late even to do a test on it. I didn't know that much about Dax and Rob. Went to the test thinking, what's this all going to be? Well, like, what's it going to be about? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to work? And then I met them and they're just funny dudes. Like,
Dax is very good. Dax is a winner.
Dax is a fucking great guy. He's been unbelievably kind to me. He's a really good dude. He always fights your corner once you've got him on side. He drives really well. He loves cars in a completely different way to I love cars. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty funny. Like, he always wants the Hellcat type. That's his thing.
Yeah, like, he's a redneck.
He loves. Yeah, he
like
loves
his Lincoln
Hellcat.
Is awesome. The Pro Touring Lincoln Continental he built. He just rips burnouts and drifts in it.
Yeah, and he goes off road. He goes to Glamis and does all that stuff.
Yeah, he's like a dune guy.
Yeah,
he goes to the fucking dunes.
He's got big power.
They're like a sand family.
Yeah, he's got he's got buggies, but he's also got a big sand rail thing with like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I was like, this guy's actually really cool and knows what he's talking about. Not in the stuff I do.
You ever watch his movies?
Yeah.
Did you watch like Hit and Run or Chips?
Yeah.
Chips is like shockingly authentic when it comes to the motorcycle scenes. And
he did most of the riding and stuff, and he tries to do his stunt driving and all the rest of it. He's a proper guy.
Yeah.
And then Hit and Run cracked me up when I watched it.
Hit and Run was hilarious. Because it was so clearly just like, how do I get someone to subsidize me being an asshole in someone else's cars?
I loved it because every scene I was like, okay, what's he going to drive in this scene? It was like he just had like a list of things he wanted to do in cars, and he put them all in a film.
Yeah, I don't know if the plot holds up, but it's certainly hilarious if you want to see Dax's evolution as a car stunt coordinator.
Yeah. It's brilliant. So I enjoyed that, and then Rob's just straight up and down hilarious. So
what's his car resume? Does he have any car? He's obviously a very funny guy, Rob Corddry. But does he have a car resume of any kind?
Yeah, I mean he's into cars, but I guess if you were going to like. I don't like doing all the pigeonhole stuff of what the characters are, but he's more like on the general viewer type side. You know? So he's got a 991 Carrera S.
Okay.
He's got an old Datsun 240Z thing,
cool.
which he's thinking of doing engine upgrades and stuff on.
And he's got to be the most popular car that our guests have. Like, we've had so many guests that have had 240 and 280.
Oh, really?
They all put RBs in them out of Skylines. That's what everybody does.
So that's what he was talking about. That he was talking about a few other things, but they started making RB motors again, didn't they, in Japan? And I was like, you should maybe buy one of these
here.
Ones. Yeah,
you don't need to go to Japan. Buy one.
But Nismo
local.
make them now, like brand new ones.
I mean, yeah, you want to spend like $40,000 on an RB? You can get one. I can find you an RB right now for like $2,500. I'm pretty sure Amelia's got them shits like laying around.
Nissan Heritage Parts Department started manufacturing blocks.
There you go.
But yeah, so he's he loves it, and it's been really fun watching him Like his eyes, just every time we do something new that he's never done before, be it track driving, snow driving, jumping stuff, doing it, you can see him just like, oh my God, this is awesome.
This is also fun.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This is also fun.
And I spoke to him about, he went back to work to do his other show, Unicorn, and he loves doing that. That's his thing. It's like comedy and improv, and he's so good at it. And I spoke to him, I was like, how's it going? He's like, yeah, it's great. It's like so nice to be back in my comfort zone. And then he was like, it's not as much fun as doing Top Gear. He's like, I don't feel scared on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Well, so if you're having fun, it's easy to not really even give a shit if it works, or because like you were there, it was fun, like whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think
By the way, I'm not saying it doesn't work. By the way,
I know you're about to tell me it's the greatest Top Gear iteration.
It's the fucking
ever.
best. It's the best. It's right behind the Chris Evans version, which was my favorite.
Oh yeah,
by far my favorite. Chris.
No, I think I've enjoyed doing it, and I think some of the episodes have been good. And the thing that is encouraging from my future point of view is that what they want to do is create a relatively broad show that people who like cars will watch, because there'll be like a supercar review in the middle or whatever, but families sit down and watch, because that was the magic of Top Gear back in the day. And in the UK now, again, with Chris Harris and Freddie Flintoff and Paddy McGuinness, they've got that again. Like, my kids love watching it and all the rest of it.
Are they doing well over there? I have no idea what the UK thinks of them. I mean, I love Chris Harris, but I don't fucking know what England thinks of him right now. No, the show's done.
So it was traditionally on BBC Two, which is like the second BBC channel on a Sunday evening. That was always its slot. And then last year, they moved it to BBC One for the first time ever. So that's how well it's done.
That's when Chris got that nice thing.
He has lots of nice things.
I know, he got a few toys over there.
Yeah, yeah. So they're doing really well, and we've seemed to have got that. I hear a lot from people that I watched it with my kids. It was great fun. We loved it. And Dax and Rob, particularly Dax, because of his podcast, brings a really big, broad audience to it, which is why I guess they went and got him, you know.
How weird is that, to be like on a show that was like the biggest show ever when you were like growing up, and now you're like, well, it's because of his podcast that this is a huge, this is a big thing.
I mean,
it's
Top
crazy,
Gear,
right?
the brand is huge, but
it's
things
just a
change.
Weird world,
right?
Yeah, things change, but it works pretty well. I really, really enjoy doing it. They're really good fun to hang around with. And
have you found any new shit boxes that you like, that you didn't think you would actually like, but are really actually fine quality engineering items?
No. I like
anything worse than you actually imagined.
I like driving the crappy old car. So this is the reason, and I think maybe the internet doesn't. I know the internet doesn't get a lot of things, but the people who want me to just do car reviews, which I love doing, proper serious stuff that I've done in the past, that's great, but it doesn't translate necessarily into a Top Gear format. And the reason why it's quite easy to revert to the old stuff, it's pretty simple. You can smash into each other, you can jump them, you can set them on fire, you can drive them through a forest, you can do all those things, and it's fun to do.
Destruction cells.
So that's great, and I love doing all that fun stuff. I wouldn't say the cars are amazing. What's the best thing I did? I built a 350Z, 350Z, like Overlander thing.
Oh, yes.
We did an Overlanding
That would
episode.
probably work well, right?
It was brilliant. It was like your
Safari
Safari.
cars are awesome.
It was like your Safari 911, but done, you know, the car was probably $3,000 or $2,000 or something, and then they lifted it a little bit and put a roof tent on it. And we went out to like a volcanic forest area near Sedona, Arizona. Mm-hmm. So much fun.
I bet it was amazing.
Like, immediately I got in it and got stuck because they'd parked it on like the deepest part. But after that, it didn't get stuck once. It went everywhere, and it jumped and it slid around, and I was like, this thing's mega. And
who's building that shit for you guys?
I don't know. They've got a couple of different places. I don't get too involved in it.
Does Z have like long travel shocks? Was it kind of properly done?
It did. It wasn't.
There you go.
If you were
doing
it
pretty, but
if you were doing it yourself, you'd probably spend a bit more on the suspension stuff. But the basic concept, I was like, I've done 24-hour races in the Zeds back in the day. They're almost indestructible. They're unbelievably tough things. And I was like, I just want something that's going to go the whole time. Because stuff breaking is fun for the TV, but it's annoying if it's your car.
Your shit.
Because you're like, now I'm out of the game and I can't do the fun stuff. And there was a big jump I was going to do, on day 2 or whatever. So I just wanted something strong and rear-wheel drive, and it was mega.
These are great, man.
It was really fun.
There's a dude named Naoki who runs a drift school up at Willow Springs. I mean, is there like a harsher environment on the planet to run a drift school in Willow Springs? Like dusty, fucking 40-mile-an-hour winds, 1,000 degrees,
And if you go off,
and
you're straight
this dude's
into
got a Z with an old school HKS centrifugal blower on it.
Oh, nice.
Old school. And he teaches drifting in this thing. He's never had to repair anything on it, ever.
They are awesome. I did a 24-hour race in one, and we actually did manage to break it. I can't remember how. We blew the head gasket, basically. Got into the pits, and they were like, we'll just fill it with water. This was like hour 12. We just kept filling it with water. We finished the race.
Wow.
Then I did an entire race season in this other series. They never replaced the engine. We just filled it with water every time.
Really? Every single time?
We just kept filling it up. It just kept going. It was
just like
awesome.
white smoking the whole fucking time.
You barely noticed a thing. It still had the power. And I was like, this thing's the best.
Yeah,
it's like
these are great.
indestructible.